Hey, my reactor, so I'm back with Kindred, the fight, chapter 12. Hopefully, I won't get no distractions again. Curry and Nigel named their thin, wrinkled brown son Jude. Nigel did a lot of strutting and happy bubbling until Waylon told him to shut up and get back to work on the covered passageway he was supposed to be building to connect the house and the cookhouse. A few days after the baby's birth, though, Waylon called him into the library and gave him a new dress for Curry, a new blanket, and a new suit of clothes for him. See, Nigel told me later with some bitterness, because of Curry and me, he's one nigga richer. But before the Waylons, he was property. He was properly grateful. And that, say yeah. Thank you, Mr. Tom. Yes, sir. Sure do, thank you. Fine clothes, yes, sir. Finally, he escaped back to the covered passageway. Meanwhile, in the library, I heard Waylon tell Rufus, you should have been the one to give him something instead of wasting all your money on that worthless girl. She's well, Rufus answered. Dana got her well. Why do you say she's worthless? Because you're going to have to whip her sick again to get what you want from her. Silence. Dana should have been enough for you. She got some sense. He paused. Too much sense for her own good, I say, but at least she wouldn't give you trouble. She had that Franklin fella to teach her a few things. Rufus walked away from him without answering. I had to get away from the library door where I had been eavesdropping very quickly as I heard him approach. I ducked into the dining room and came out again just as he was passing by. Ruth, he gave me a look that said he didn't want to be bothered, but he stopped anyway. I want to write another letter. He frowned. You got to be patient, Dana. It hasn't been that long. It's been over a month. Well, I don't know. Kevin could have moved again. Could have done anything. I think you should give him a little more time to answer. Answer what? Asked Waylon. He's done with Rufus. He's done what Rufus had predicted. Come up behind us so silently that I hadn't noticed him. Rufus glanced at his father sourly. Letters to Kevin Franklin telling him what she's here? She wrote a letter. I told her to write it. Why should I do it when she can? Boy, you don't have the sense. You don't have the sense he cut off abruptly. Dana, go do your work. I left wondering whether Rufus had shown lack of sense by letting me write the letter instead of writing it himself or by sending it. After all, if Kevin never came back for me, Waylon probably was increased by one more slave. Even if I proved not to be very useful, he could always sell me. I shuddered. I had to tell Rufus and let me write another letter. The first one could have been lost or destroyed or sent to the wrong place. Things like that were still happening in 1976. How much worse might they be in this horse and the buggy era? And surely Kevin could give up on me. If I went home without him again, left him here for more than long years, if he had already given up on me, I tried to put that thought out of my mind. It came to me now and then, even though everything people told me seems to indicate that he was waiting, still waiting. I went out to the laundry yard to help Tess. I had come to almost welcome the hard work. It kept me from thinking. Why people thought I was industrious. Most blacks thought I was either stupid or too intent on pleasing the whites. I thought I was keeping my fear and doubts as best as I could and managing to stay relatively sane. I caught Rufus alone again the next day, in his room this time where he weren't likely to be interrupted. But he wouldn't listen when I brought the letter. His mind was on Alice. She was stronger now, and his patience with her was gone. I had thought that eventually he would just rape her again and again. In fact, I was surprised that he hadn't already done it. I didn't realize that he was planning to involve me in that rape. He was, and he did. Talk to her, Dana, he said once he brushed aside the matter in my letter. You're older than she is. She thinks you know a lot. Talk to her. He was sitting on the bed staring into the cold fireplace. I sat at his desk looking at the clear plastic planet I had loaned him. He used half he used half its mm, he used half its ink already. What the hell have you been writing with this? I asked. Dana, listen to me. I turned to face him. I heard you. Well, I can't stop you from raping the woman, Rufus, but I'm not going to help you do it either. Do you? You want her to do? You want her to get hurt? Of course not, but you already decided to hurt her, haven't you? He didn't answer. Let her go, Ruth. Haven't she suffered enough because of you? He wouldn't. I knew he wouldn't. His gray eyes glittered. She'll never get away from me again. Never. He drew a deep breath, let it out slowly. You know, Daddy wants me to send her to the fields and take you. Does he? He thinks all I want is a woman, any woman. So you, then, he says, you'll be less likely to give me trouble. Do you believe him? He hesitated. Madison smiled a little. No. I nodded. Good. I know you, Dana. You want Kevin the way I want Alice. And you had more luck than I did because no matter what happens now, for a while, he wanted you too. Maybe I can't ever have that. Both wanting, both loving. But I'm not going to give up what I can have. What do you mean no matter what happens now? What the hell do you think I mean? It's been 5 years. You want to write another letter? Did you ever think maybe he threw the first letter away? Maybe he got like Alice. Wanted to be with one of his own kind. I said nothing. I knew what he was doing. Trying to share his pain, his hurt. Hold up. Trying to share his pain hurt me as he was hurting. And of course, he knew just where I was vulnerable at. I tried to keep a neutral expression, but he went on. He told me once that you two have been married 4 years. That means he's been here away from you even longer than you've been together. I doubt if he had waited as long as he did if you weren't the only one who could get him back to his hometown. But now, who knows? The right woman could make this time mighty sweet to him. Ruth, nothing you say to me is going to ease your way with Alice. No. How about this? You talk to her, talk for sense to her, or you going to watch while Jake Edwards beat some sense into her. I stared at him in revulsion. Is that what you call love? He was on his feet and across the room to me before I could take another breath. I sat where I was watching him feeling frightened. That's a long chapter. I'm going to get through it. Suddenly very much aware of my knife or of how quickly I could reach it, he wasn't going to beat me. Not him, not ever. Get up, he ordered. He didn't order me around much, and he never done it in that tone. Get up, I said. I didn't move. I've been too easy on you, he said. His voice was suddenly low and ugly. I treated you like you were better than ordinary niggas. I see I made a mistake. That's possible, I said. I'm waiting for you to show me I made a mistake. For several seconds, he stood frozen. He stood frozen, towering over me, glaring down as though he meant to hit me. Finally, though, he relaxed, leaned back towards his desk. You think you're white, he muttered. You don't know your place any better than a wild animal. I said nothing. You think you own me because you saved my life? And I relaxed, glad not to have to take the life I had to save. Glad not to have to risk other lives, including my own. If I ever caught myself wanting you like I want her, what in the world? I'm telling y'all, the distraction is bad. If I ever caught myself wanting you like I want her, I'll cut my throat. I hope that problems will never arise. If it did, one of us would be cutting. One of us will do some cutting, all right. Help me, Dana. I can't. You can. You and nobody else. Go to her, send her to me. I have her whether you help or not. All I want you to do is fix it so I don't have to beat her. You're no friend of hers if you won't do that much. Of hers? He had all the low cunning of his class. No, I couldn't refuse to help the girl. Help her avoid at least some pain, but she wouldn't think much of me for helping her this way. I didn't think much of myself. Do it, hissed Rufus. I got up and went out to find her. She was strange now, erotic. Sometimes needing my friendship, trusting me with her dangerous longings for freedom, her wild plans to run away again, and sometimes hating me, blaming me for her troubles. One night in the attic, she was crying softly and telling me something about Isaac. She stopped suddenly and asked, "Have you heard from your husband yet, Dana?" "Not yet." Write another letter, even if you have to do it in secret. I'm working on it. No sense in you losing your man too. Yet moments later, for no reason, that's all I could see. She attacked me. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, whining and crying out to some poor white trash of a man, black as you are. You always trying to act so white nigga turning against your own people. I never really got used to her sudden switches, her attacks, but I put up with them. I had taken her through all the other stages of healing, and somehow I couldn't abandon her now. Most of the time, I couldn't even get angry. She was like Rufus. When she hurt, she struck out to hurt others. But she had been hurting less as the days passed. And striking out less. She was healing emotionally as well as physically. I had helped her to heal. Now I had to help Rufus to tear her wounds open again. She was at Prairie Cabin watching Jude and two other babies someone had left for her. She had no regular duties yet, but like me, she had found her own work. She liked children and she liked sewing. She would take the coarse blue cloth, wailable for her, for the slaves, and make neat, sturdy clothing of his white small children played around her feet. Waiter complained that she was like old Murray with the children and the sewing, but he brought her his clothing to be mended. She worked better and faster than a slave woman who had taken over much of old Murray's sewing. And if she had an enemy on the plantation, it was that woman, Liza, who was now in danger of being sent to more work. I went into the cabin and sat down with Alice before the cold fireplace. Jude slept beside her in the crib Nigel had made for him. The other two babies were awake, laying naked on blankets on the floor, quietly playing with their feet. Alice looked up at me, then held up a long blue dress. "This is for you," she said. "I'm sick of seeing you in the pants." I looked down at my jeans. I'm so used to dressing like this, I forgot sometimes. At least it keeps me from having to serve at the table. Serving ain't bad. She done it a few times. And if Mr. Tom wasn't so stingy, you would have a dress long. You would have had a dress long time ago. Man loves a daughter more than he loves Jesus. That I believe literally. Wayner has dealing with banks. I knew because he complained about them. But I had never known him to have any dealings with churches or hold any kind of prayer meeting in his home. The slaves had to sneak away in the night and take their chances with the patrollers if they wanted to have any kind of religion meeting. At least you can look like a woman when your man comes for you, Alice said. I drew a deep breath. Thanks. Yeah, now tell me what you came here for that you don't want to say. I looked at her startled. You think I don't know you after all this time? You got a look that says you don't want to be here. Yes, Rufus sent me to talk to you. I hesitated. He wants you tonight. Her expression hardened. He sent you to tell me that? No, she waited, glaring at me, silently demanding that I tell her more. I said nothing. Well, what did he send you for then? To talk to you into going to him quietly and to tell you you'll be whipped if this time if you resist. Shit. Well, all right. You told me now get out of here before I throw this dress in the fireplace and light it. I don't give a damn what you do with that dress. Now it was her turn to be scalded. I didn't usually talk to her that way even when she deserved it. I leaned back comfortably in Nigel's homemade chair. Message delivered. I said, do you want? Do what you want. I mean to. You might look ahead a little. You might look ahead a little though, ahead in all of the three directions. What are you talking about? Well, it looks as though you had three choices. You can go to him as he ordered. You can refuse, be whooped, and then have him take you by force, or you can run away again. She said nothing, then to her sewing and drew the needle in quick, neat, tiny stitches, even though her hands were shaking. I bent down to play with one of the babies, one who had forgotten his own feet and crawled over to investigate my shoe. He was a fat, curious little boy of several months who began trying to pull the buttons off my blouse as soon as I picked him up. He gonna pee all over you in a minute, said Alice. He likes to let go just when somebody's over him. I put the baby down quickly, just in time, as it turned out. Dana, I looked at her. What am I going to do? I hesitated, shook my head. I can't advise you. It's your body, not mine. Her voice had dropped to a whisper. Not mine, his. He paid for it, didn't he? Pay who? You? You know he didn't pay me. Oh, what's the difference? Whether it's right or wrong, the Lord said he owes me. I don't know why he hasn't already whipped the skin off me. The things I said to him, you know why. She began to cry. I ought to take a knife in there with me and cut his damn throat, she glared at me. Now go tell him that. Tell him Tell him I'm talking about killing him. Tell him yourself. Do your job, Dana. Go tell him. That's what you for, to help white folks keep niggas down. That's why he sent you. They be calling you mammy in a few years. You'll be running the whole house when he old. And when the old man dies, I shrugged and stopped the curious baby away. I shrugged and stopped the curious baby from sucking on my shoestrings. Go tell him, Dana. Show him you the kind of woman he needs, not me. I said nothing. One white man, two white men, what's the difference do it make? One black man, two black men, what difference does that make? I've had 10 black men out turning against my own. I shrugged again, refusing to argue with her. What would I win? She made a wordless sound and covered her face with her hands. What's the matter with you? She said, really. Why you let me run you down like that? You done? Everything you did good for me. Maybe it even saved my life. I've seen people get lockjaws and die from ways less than I have wrong with you. Why you let me talk about you so bad? Why you do that? She sighed, bent her body into a C as she plunged into the chair. Because I get so mad. I get so mad I can taste it in my mouth, and you're the only one I can take it out. Or the only one I can hurt and not be hurt back. Don't keep doing it, I said. I have feelings just like you do. Do you want me to go to him? I can't tell you that. You have to decide. I glanced at the floor. We're in different situations. What I do doesn't matter. Would you go to him? No. Even though he's just like your husband, he isn't. But all right, even though you don't hate him like I do, even so, then I won't go either. What would you do? I don't know. Run away. I got up to leave. Where you going? She said quickly. To starve Rufus. If I really work at it, I think I could get him to let you off tonight. That will give you a star. She dropped the dress to the floor and came out of the chair to grab me. No, Dana, don't go. She drew a deep breath that seemed to say, I'm lying. I can't run again. I can't. You will be hungry, cold, and sick out there, and so tired you can't walk. Then they find you and set dogs on you. My Lord, the dog, she was silent for a moment. I'm going to take him. He knew I would sooner or later, but he don't know how I wish I had the nerve just to kill him. Yeah, I'll be back with y'all, Big Bye, Marietta.